Have you ever quietly wondered if self-pleasure is still healthy after 60? If you're a mature man, you're not alone. Many men over the age of 60 continue this private practice, yet often in silence, unsure whether it's helping or harming their health. With so much outdated advice and conflicting opinions out there, it's easy to feel confused or even concerned. This is a topic rarely discussed, but deeply important. Today, we'll have an honest, science-based conversation about what really happens when older men masturbate. We'll look at both the surprising benefits and the potential risks, so you can make informed, confident choices. Stay with us until the end. You may discover something that shifts the way you think about your own wellness. As we get older, staying in tune with our bodies becomes even more important, and self-pleasure can quietly support that. It helps keep blood flowing through penile tissue, maintaining elasticity for healthy function. Surprisingly, it may even support prostate health, with studies linking regular release to lower cancer risk. And there's more, it naturally engages your pelvic floor muscles, which play a key role in bladder control and sexual strength. It also helps calm the body, lowering stress hormones and boosting feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, which lift your mood and ease anxiety. Over time, you also become more familiar with your body. That awareness makes it easier to notice any changes early. Plus, after release, many find it easier to sleep, something that often gets tougher with age. Improved pelvic circulation is another quiet benefit, supporting surrounding organs and muscles. For some men, it's also a chance to practice control, tuning into their own rhythm and building awareness. And even if you don't have a partner, keeping desire alive through healthy stimulation helps preserve libido and mental engagement. As we grow older, staying connected to our bodies in a gentle, intentional way becomes more meaningful. One often overlooked benefit of self-pleasure is how it helps maintain the health of the penis. When you achieve an erection, blood flows into the soft, spongy tissues known as the corpora cavernosa. This increased circulation isn't just about arousal, it's like a form of natural exercise for those tissues. Over time, regular blood flow helps preserve the elasticity of the penile tissue. That flexibility plays a vital role in achieving and sustaining firmness, especially as the body changes with age. Think of it as a quiet kind of upkeep, something simple you can do that helps keep things working as they should. So while this act may seem small or private, its impact on circulation and tissue health can be surprisingly significant. It's a gentle reminder that even the most personal habits can support your well-being in meaningful ways. Building on that idea of gentle upkeep, there's another part of the body that may benefit from regular attention: the prostate. Some large studies, including one from a well-known American university, have found that men who ejaculate more often tend to have a lower risk of developing prostate cancer. The theory is fairly simple. Regular release helps flush out fluids and substances that might otherwise build up in the prostate ducts over time. It's a bit like keeping the system clear and flowing, rather than letting things stagnate. While this may not be something many talk about openly, it's a quiet, natural way the body supports itself. And knowing that even a private moment could play a role in long-term wellness can be both comforting and empowering. Continuing with how the body quietly benefits from regular activity, let's talk about something often overlooked: the pelvic floor. During orgasm, a series of natural muscle contractions take place, and these movements engage key muscles deep within the pelvis. One of the main muscles involved is part of the pelvic floor, a group that plays a big role in functions like bladder control and sexual performance. Over time, consistent engagement of these muscles can help keep them stronger and more responsive. For many older men, this kind of strength supports better control during intimacy, and may even help with common concerns like occasional leaks or urgency. It's a reminder that small, natural actions can help maintain important functions we often take for granted, quietly supporting confidence and quality of life as we age. And while the physical side of health matters, emotional balance plays just as big a role, especially in our later years. Interestingly, self-pleasure has been shown to help reduce cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol rises when we're under pressure, and over time, high levels can contribute to issues like anxiety and elevated blood pressure. But after orgasm, the body naturally shifts into a calmer state, helping those stress levels come back down. It's a quiet, restorative moment, one that doesn't just bring release, but also a sense of ease. In a world that often feels rushed or overwhelming, even something this simple can support a calmer, more balanced day. And beyond easing stress, there's something beautifully human that happens in these quiet moments. Your brain releases powerful, natural chemicals that lift your spirit. Dopamine, often called the feel-good chemical, brings a sense of reward, satisfaction, and joy. It's the brain's gentle way of saying, "You're okay." At the same time, oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is released, supporting emotional warmth and a feeling of connection. Even when you're alone, this chemical response can bring a surprising sense of closeness and comfort. Together, these hormones help create emotional balance. In a world that can sometimes feel isolating, especially as we age, This simple, natural process offers a quiet way to reconnect with your mood, your memories, and yourself. And as you continue to stay in touch with your body, there's another quiet benefit that often goes unnoticed: awareness. The more familiar you are with how things normally feel, the more likely you are to catch small changes early. For some men, this simple routine has led to the early discovery of concerns like testicular irregularities, things that might have otherwise been missed until much later. Being attuned to your own body can act like a first line of awareness. It's not about worry. It's about knowing yourself well enough to notice when something feels different. That kind of gentle attention can make a meaningful difference over time. And when the evening settles in, few things feel more important than truly restful sleep. Yet for many older adults, falling asleep and staying asleep can become more difficult with time. That's where the body's natural response after orgasm may quietly lend a hand. In those moments of release, your system experiences a drop in cortisol, the stress hormone. While calming chemicals like oxytocin and prolactin increase, this shift often brings a deep sense of relaxation, helping both the mind and body unwind. For some, this gentle transition can make it easier to ease into sleep, especially when rest feels just out of reach. It's a simple, private way. The body creates space for restoration, offering a kind of comfort that feels both natural and earned. And looking a bit deeper, there's another benefit that often goes unnoticed: healthy circulation throughout the pelvic region. While much attention is given to the visible effects of arousal, the internal flow of blood plays a vital role as well. When blood moves freely through this area, it supports not just the penis, but also the bladder, the prostate, and the surrounding muscles. This steady circulation helps nourish tissues, remove waste products, and keep things functioning as they should. With age, circulation can naturally slow down, so any activity that encourages healthy blood flow becomes even more meaningful. In this way, a private moment can quietly help maintain the health of systems we depend on every day, offering care from the inside out. And for those looking to build more control and confidence, self-pleasure can also be a helpful space for practice. It offers a relaxed setting where you can pay closer attention to how your body responds, especially when it comes to timing. One gentle approach is the stop-start method. This simply means pausing stimulation just before climax, then resuming once the urgency fades. Over time, this can help you become more in tune with your physical signals and create a sense of rhythm that feels more intentional. It's a quiet way to turn personal time into something more purposeful, offering small steps toward greater awareness, comfort, and ease in your own experience. And as we think about staying well with age, it's helpful to remember that desire begins in the mind. The brain is often called the most powerful sex organ, and keeping it engaged can quietly support both interest and response. When you regularly explore healthy stimulation, whether through touch, thought, or imagination, you help keep the neural pathways related to arousal active. This can play a role in maintaining libido and a natural sense of sexual curiosity over time. It's not about performance, it's about staying connected to a part of yourself that brings joy, energy, and vitality. Even in later years, that connection still matters. And while the benefits are worth noting, it's just as important to be aware of the risks, especially when self-pleasure becomes routine without reflection. When practiced in ways that ignore comfort, connection, or balance, it can quietly take a toll, from physical strain to emotional distance. These potential downsides remind us that even private habits deserve mindful care. And while personal time can offer comfort, it's important to notice when it starts replacing real human connection. When self-pleasure becomes the primary way to meet emotional or physical needs, it can slowly lead to social withdrawal. Over time, this shift may make it harder to seek out meaningful relationships, engage in conversations, or feel motivated to connect with others. What begins as a private habit can quietly become a substitute for companionship, leaving you feeling more alone than supported. Staying mindful of this balance helps ensure that your personal moments remain just one part of a full and connected life, where intimacy, friendship, and shared experiences still have space to grow. And while comfort is often the goal, it's easy to overlook the importance of being gentle with your body. When self-pleasure is rushed, too intense, or done without proper lubrication, it can sometimes lead to small skin irritations or tiny tears. These micro-injuries may not seem like much at first, but over time they can cause discomfort, sensitivity, or even increase the risk of irritation. The skin in that area is delicate and deserves care, especially as we age and become more prone to dryness or friction. Taking a slower, more mindful approach, one that prioritizes comfort, can help turn this private moment into something soothing, rather than stressful. A little extra attention to how it feels can go a long way in protecting your well-being. And while routines can feel reassuring, repeating the exact same kind of stimulation every time may gradually lead to a different kind of challenge. Reduced sensation. When your body becomes used to a single method, pressure, or rhythm, it can start to respond only to that specific pattern. Over time, this can make it harder to feel aroused or reach climax in other situations, especially during shared intimacy. It's not about doing something wrong, it's simply that the nervous system can adapt, narrowing what it responds to. Bringing in small changes, whether in pace, pressure, or focus, can gently refresh the experience. It helps keep both the body and mind engaged, supporting a more flexible and satisfying sense of connection. And while solo experiences may feel more comfortable or reliable, they can sometimes hide early signs of something deeper. If you're able to achieve an erection during self-pleasure but not with a partner, it might be tempting to brush it off as no big deal. But in some cases, that difference can signal an underlying health concern, one that deserves attention, not avoidance. Things like circulation, hormone levels, or overall wellness can all play a role in sexual response, especially as we age. Staying open to patterns like these isn't about alarm, it's about awareness. When we notice what's changing, we give ourselves a chance to care more fully for our health, both inside and out. And while comfort often feels like second nature, posture is something we may not always think about, especially during private moments. But sitting too long in a hard chair or hunching forward can quietly put pressure on the pelvic nerves. Over time, this poor positioning can compress the pudendal nerve, leading to numbness or discomfort in the pelvic area. It might start as a mild sensation, but grow into something more noticeable if repeated regularly. Choosing a more relaxed, supported position like lying down can help ease that strain. It's a gentle way to remind ourselves that how we sit and move matters, even in the most personal routines. And sometimes, it's not the action itself, but the reason behind it that matters most. Turning to self-pleasure as a way to escape feelings like loneliness, frustration, or stress can seem harmless at first, but when it becomes the only outlet, it may quietly create an unhealthy emotional dependency. Instead of helping us process what we're feeling, it can become a way to avoid it altogether. Over time, this habit may limit emotional growth and reduce our motivation to seek support, connect with others, or explore more balanced ways of coping. By gently asking ourselves why we're reaching for comfort, we create space for more mindful choices, ones that care for both body and heart. And for some, the act itself isn't the problem, it's the feelings that follow. If you've grown up with messages that framed self-pleasure as wrong or shameful, those old beliefs can linger, even well into adulthood. Feelings of guilt or embarrassment may surface after the fact, leaving you conflicted or uncomfortable. These emotions aren't uncommon, especially for those raised in more traditional or conservative environments, where this topic was rarely spoken of openly or positively. In cases like this, talking with a supportive, sex-positive therapist can help untangle those old narratives. With time and compassion, it's possible to see this natural part of life with more clarity and self-acceptance. And while regular release can be healthy, like anything else, too much of a good thing may cause discomfort. When ejaculation happens too frequently, especially multiple times a day over long periods, it can sometimes lead to a feeling of heaviness or aching in the testicles or pelvic area. This sensation is often the body's way of signaling that it needs a bit more rest or balance. It's not about strict limits, but about tuning in and noticing how your body responds. Listening to those signals with care helps keep things in harmony, reminding us that moderation isn't restriction, but a quiet form of respect for our own well-being. And for those thinking about starting or growing a family, timing and balance can take on new importance. While regular ejaculation is generally harmless, doing so too frequently, especially on a daily basis, may temporarily lower sperm concentration. This doesn't affect long-term fertility, but if you and your partner are actively trying to conceive, it's something to be aware of. Research suggests that waiting between 2 to 5 days between releases may help optimize sperm quality for conception. It's a gentle reminder that our bodies often benefit from rhythm and rest, especially when there's a larger goal in mind. Being mindful of that timing can support not just health, but also hope for the future. And while imagination can be a healthy part of intimacy, relying too heavily on explicit content may quietly shift how we see real-life connection. When self-pleasure is consistently tied to intense or unrealistic pornography, it can begin to shape expectations in ways that don't reflect everyday relationships. Over time, this may create a disconnect, making it harder to feel satisfied or emotionally present with a partner. The contrast between screen-driven fantasy and genuine intimacy can sometimes leave people feeling detached or unfulfilled. Finding balance, like blending visual aids with memory, imagination, or emotional closeness, can help keep things grounded. It's about staying connected, not just to desire, but to the real moments that give it meaning. As we wrap up this gentle conversation, I hope you're walking away with more clarity and comfort around a topic that's often left in the shadows. Self-pleasure in your later years can be part of a healthy, balanced life when practiced with thoughtfulness and care. It's not just about the body, it's about understanding yourself, staying connected, and honoring your well-being in every season of life. Of course, everyone's journey is different. If something doesn't feel right, or you have questions about your health, don't hesitate to speak with a trusted doctor. Sometimes, a simple conversation can offer peace of mind and open the door to better care. If you're still here with me and found this video helpful, I'd love to know. Just type 0 or 1 in the comments below. Your quiet presence means a lot, and it reminds me why these conversations matter. Thank you for spending this time together. Stay kind to yourself, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.